on some side bending, so a bit more bias towards side bending. So we're just going to start really simple. We're going to stand nice and tall. We're going to reach up with one hand. We're going to grab the wrist, and we're just going to lean over. You can look slightly above, but we're trying to stay, in general, between two panes of glass. We're not kind of hunching forward or leaning back too much. We're trying to stay nicely within the frontal plane. I'm going to come to the other side, reach the hand, grab the wrist, pull it gently as we move the hip across. Just starting to warm up a little bit, so don't go too crazy at the start. I think for anyone who gets any kind of discomfort through their lower back, sometimes we focus on rotation, but sometimes we actually need to really stretch and open that QR position. So we're going to go to a seated position. You can sit on a brick if sitting down is that comfortable for you to be a bit higher. We're going to go with a double wrap. So we're going to lift one leg off. My right hip's quite tight, so I'll be quite high up here. Like I said, if you want to sit on a brick, you can. We're just going to put the hand down. I'm going to do the same thing. We're going to reach over and across. If you want to bend that elbow, you can. If you want to use a brick to bring the ground a bit close to you, you can. We're just trying to reach up and over, breathing out, looking under, and going all the way through. And then we'll go to the other side. So hand's going to come down and come up and over and reach round and across. Breathing out, looking up, through underneath the armpit if you can, reaching nice and tall. From here, we're just going to go to a little forward fold. So we're just going to reach forwards, just try and let everything relax. You can put the hands down, you can drop the chin, you can be nice and tall and reach. Just allow a little bit of forward folding. Should be a little counter to our side stuff. We're going to switch the legs. We're going to do the exact same thing. So double cross. You don't have to be double cross. You can do it as a normal sit, normal seated position. If you want to, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to reach up and across. You try and drive that left knee a little bit down as you reach up and away. Breathing out, relaxing the neck, relaxing the shoulder. So we're not hiking the shoulder up, just nice and relaxed. We're going to reach across to the other side. Same thing. We can bend this elbow if you want to sit in a bit more. This time trying to drive that right knee down. My right knee's kind of popping off a little bit. Just trying to keep it down. Breathe out. Look nice and over. From there we're going to go just into a nice pigeon stretch. So coming across and down through. And we're just going to work a little bit of movement. So we're going to move over towards the knee. And then we're going to go over towards the foot. Same thing, if you wanted a couple bricks, so make it a bit easier, bring the ground a bit closer towards you, you can. You absolutely don't have to. Try and keep that foot relatively active, so we're keeping the toe nice and on. You should feel this all the way through the back of the hip. As we move across and over. And across and over. I'll switch sides, I'm trying to switch the angle a bit so you can see a slightly different angle. So we're reaching across, nice and tall, and then we're coming across and down, and then across and down over towards the foot, across and down, and then over towards the foot. Just keep going and oscillating. You can spend a bit longer in one position if you want to and just hold it. Just playing around with the position a bit. Cool, we're going to go this half straddle position. I really like this position because you can connect a lot of things together. So if you've got tight hamstrings, same thing, you can kind of lift up. You can even put a brick underneath. You can have a small knee bend if you want to. You can make that brick a bit taller. For me, I'm going to come down to the floor. We're going to reach across first, and then we're going to reach up and over. So I want to get all of this through, but also link through that side and reaching up and down. We're trying to keep that knee down to the floor and reaching up and across. So you can put the hand behind the head, you can reach the elbow towards the sky, but what I want you to feel is this nice long side stretch through the body, and using this hand, you can obviously grab the shin, or you grab the ankle, wherever feels comfortable for you to get a bit of traction, so you're getting a little more twisting, but then side bending as you come through. So I don't want to come forwards and just kind of be in that traditional hamstring stretch. I want to come up with the chest and come up so you get that nice long pull through the side body. Cool, we'll switch side, I'll show you a different angle. Coming down and through, same thing, we're going to reach first. My left hamstring is a bit tighter, so I can grab the ankle and then reaching up and across. You're trying to look underneath your armpit, relaxing that shoulder and neck and this one, so we're not hiked up through the neck. We're letting the shoulder come down, the head almost like a little bit of a lever, and allowing us to just tip and put our centre of mass across. As you open up, you might be able to grab a bit further, a bit deeper. Same thing. If you need a bit of a knee bend, that's fine too. If you've got that sharp feeling in the back of the knee, if you have any sciatic issues, don't kind of pull on that nerve. You can just bend the knee, it will alleviate it up. If you can straighten it, then you can. Same thing, when you breathe out, try to go a little bit deeper, and we'll do another 5 seconds. And slowly come out. I'm going to go to half kneeling position. And we're going to come into our side bends in this position. So you can have a break, you don't have to, but the same thing, we're going to go across, and now we're adding in this hip flexor a bit. You're trying to stay with your hips across, so don't lean too far forwards or too far back. We're trying to stay so you're right in that frontal plane, reach down across. I really like a brick here, so you can get a little bit of traction pushing into the floor whilst reaching up and away. So we're in this position, pushing into the floor, reaching up and away, have the brick in line with the block, the brick in line with the hip, reaching up and across, breathe out. Cool, we'll go the other way, same thing, I really like a brick here, but you don't have to. I like to put it on the medium setting, same thing, don't put it out in front or behind, put it beside you. We've done this one before, and you're reaching across, you're actually driving this hip that way, whilst moving across. And really, you can kind of oscillate a little bit. Obviously, if you don't need the brick, I quite like it. It gives me a bit more range in the side bend, puts less in the hip for me. Cool, we'll come back to center, we'll do the other side. Same thing, put it in line with the hip. You don't have to have it, like I said, you can just drive that hand down and reach up and across. You're going to get this hip flexor involved as well. You can squeeze that right butt cheek, this one over here, just a tiny bit to keep that pelvis in check. We don't want to be super overextended, so a little bit tucked. Like I said, I like the brick because you can push into the brick and really reach across. Breathe out. Let the head follow. And then we'll come down through. Last one on this side. Break out to the side, reaching out and across. This is one of my favourite. I think it ties in the hip and the side body, your QL really nicely. Feels quite nice if you've been sitting for a while. And it's a nice prep for lots of different movements. From there, the last one we're going to do a little bit of a funny setup, but it's kind of like an assisted side plank position. So we're going to come down to the floor, out to the side, and we're just going to reach up and over. So this really long side plank position. So I'll show you kind of from this angle as we come round and through. I quite like this because this cuts to integrate the chain a bit. Try and actually put that shoulder right over that wrist, reaching up and over. We can play with a few things. You can actually hover this back foot off the floor and get a little bit of stability involved. Or you could even take this foot off the floor and reach even longer. If this is hard, you can actually put this hand up or just help that stability, but reaching up will just elongate it. This toe can just point really gently, so you're getting all of this stretch down that side body. It's nice and integrated into the shoulder and into this hip as well. So this is a nice one to put everything together and finish off. We'll come to the other side. So I quite like just thinking foot roughly in line with the knee, roughly in line with the hand. Over the shoulder, this foot can actually turn slightly in to decrease kind of the base support bit, and then reaching up and across. Like I said, you can take this foot off the floor and get a little bit of stability involved, so it's just the knee, or you can put that foot gently down. You can take that foot off, you can reach the hand further over, or you can just gently tap it onto the floor. This really just lengthens everything. Let the head follow, like you're looking underneath the armpit slightly, just feeling everything linked from this hand to this foot, being nice and stretched. We'll do our last 10 seconds, and then we will be done for the day. Good. Make sure when you come out, just come out slowly after you've lengthened some tissue. You don't want to kind of you want to move too quickly because it might tighten everything up. So just nice and gently bring everything back. Cool. Thanks for joining me today, and I hope you enjoyed it.